this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a word, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
What's going on, family? Just trying to get this cranked up. Just making sure I'm on all three platforms. I cannot see all three yet. I see Facebook. I see YouTube. There's always the hardest. Let me just double check. Hopefully you are having a good Thursday afternoon. All right, yeah, it's up on Twitter. So thought I put this together, still working on the setup. And I at least want to make sure the audio is clear. I did a test video yesterday. I didn't actually put it out publicly, just sent it out to a few folks. They checked it out, said the audio was good. So I thought I'd do one today. And I spoke about some stuff. I might actually make it public later, but I'm just trying to make sure that I am up everywhere I need to be up. Please subscribe to Freedmen Media on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I don't use the Facebook plat as much. I will actually start posting videos this weekend to the Facebook platform.
You fought every one of your damn miles in ours, so you give us nothing. Now, we always gonna be here, and we're gonna be free. Now, you kill you want to, but we kill you.
Always got to let that ancestor speak. Yeah, I thought I'd pull this one together because there just seems to be a lot of anger. And I've heard this through a few other casts, and I'm not sure exactly why we're angry with one another at this point, but there seems to be a lot of anger. And I myself, I guess I've become less tolerable of people coming at me sideways. Maybe if I had stepped up and said some things to certain people years back, maybe those things wouldn't be happening now. But frankly, I really don't have time for people. In most cases, I just don't have time for them. So I just need to know where I'm at with myself and with my surroundings. Most people outside of my immediate circle, they really don't affect me. But when you come into there, then I expect you to be respectful, and I expect you to act accordingly. But for some reason, some people just don't know how to act. So they do what they're going to do. So I get it. And, I've got to take what I got to do to, make people be accountable stuff. I had an individual call me out my name, and for truly, it probably shouldn't have affected me the way it affected me, but it did affect me the way it affected me, because for me, this person doesn't even know me. And when you put dirt on my name, and the way I looked at it, he put dirt on my name because, like I said, you don't know me, and you calling me something that you don't know about. But for some reason, it was just a scenario of he didn't even need to be a part of the discussion. And I know it was on a public platform, but he chose to insult me. So once you insult me and you say something that I know to be factually not true, I am going to cook you slow. And I don't really have anything else to say to the person because, motherfuckers just, they come and they go. But this person came into my path, and actually came into my path after I had been very, very, for me, complimentary to the average motherfucker. No, I'm not. If you do some above average shit, yeah, I'm probably going to compliment you. But the average motherfucker, I'm probably not, because you should have been probably doing those things already. But when you get someone who finds themselves on the positive side of some shit, they should just move about and act as if, I'm the Barry Sanders of shit. Let me be honest with you. I'm that guy that's just basically going to score and hand the ball off to the referee. But, you have your Billy White Shoes Johnson motherfuckers out here who want to do a dance every time they do something positive and be all up in the photos, all up in the videos, all over the place, talking about what they're doing. So you spend that much time beating your chest, which it really kind of lets me know you're really not doing that much. If all you're going to do is beat your chest, at the end of you doing something, it just minimized what you did. So I have a problem with that type of affair. And his situation with me was, it just didn't have to be, but he decided to insult me. So I had, to take my shoes off, because I don't get my shoes dirty. I had to take them off and firmly plant him in his ass for fucking with me. And hopefully that'll be the end of it. Because if he comes back, I actually went light that night. I got other shit that I could have brought up about him and just totally desecrated him privately, publicly, personally. I don't give a shit. Because once you say something wrong to me, all gloves are off. Descendant Layer on the YouTube side, I appreciate you. I have not seen that name in a long time. It's because I haven't gone live on YouTube, just kind of getting things squared away here and seeing what we can do, what we can put together. And hopefully I am on all three platforms, in YouTube, in Facebook, and Twitter. Hopefully the audio and everything is good. I'm not doing a lot of shares. I'm not going to do any shares while I'm actually live, because it's satisfying the three portals that I generally send stuff to. And then I've got a couple other audio platforms that I'm linking up. And that's why I'm really trying to get this audio together, because I'm going to be probably about 5 different platforms on the audio side. And then I'll focus more, as I'm working with getting different lighting and everything. I want everything to be right on the video side. But, as the title read, American Freedmen, we have to unify. American Freedmen unity is the only way. It literally is the only way. And that's why I put, quotation marks, only, because we really can't rely on anybody else. Now, this is definitely not saying we need to become apolitical folks, because we cannot be. We have to be political. But if we're not politically driven together, we're going to languish. And that's not saying that everybody has the same ideologies. That's not even saying that everybody is going to vote the same way. But we have to be about our shit out here. And for some reason, people are still finding it ways to be contrary. We speak a lot about repair. We speak on reparations. We speak about a lot of things that are obviously owed, to not only us who we're speaking, on, but to our ancestors. And we're fighting for our ancestors. Now, I know there's some clown ass motherfuckers out here who are always talking that shit about, oh, y'all just begging. These are the biggest coon ass niggas out here. Okay. And I will have no problem with calling anybody out if they want to say some more shit. But motherfuckers like Carl Fulton and all them, they're always talking about motherfuckers begging. It used to be Jeff Coulthorne. I have no problem about calling these niggas out, simply because they always feel like black people have not done enough to achieve more. And the way I look at them, I mean, I know one was basically, he grew up in a corporate household. I don't know how the other one grew up, but because he's actually making out pretty good right now, he feels as though everybody should be doing what he's doing. But then at the end of the day, you just going to the white man to get your money anyway, as do most black businessmen. There aren't too many black businessmen out here who don't have to deal with a considerable amount of non-black people to get their bread. But don't nobody be out here dogging them. He dogs people for trying to do what they need to do for themselves and for their people just because he's not on course with it. Just because he's not, on code. I get it. But then he wants to say he follows the nation and this, that, and the other. Go ahead and follow the nation. I have nothing against the Nation of Islam, but the Nation of Islam takes care of themselves. The Nation of Islam does not take care of anybody outside of the Nation of Islam. It is what it is. So, is there something wrong with my microphone? I'm seeing on YouTube something wrong with the mic. There's something wrong with the mic. There's something wrong with my audio. I can't actually tell. Looks like it's coming through fine. Somebody just did mic check. So maybe my microphone is low. Hopefully the audio is fine. But that's beautiful, Leia. That is beautiful. I miss you too. I miss doing the videos. We used to have a platform that we were on called Haps, and it would basically disperse us to multiple locations, and that went down. And it allowed me to actually do a lot of live videos when I was mobile. But unfortunately, and that's why I need people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Got to get those subscribers up. I'm going to start pushing this channel, start pushing, the other platforms as well, because to be mobile and be live, you got to have 1,000 subscribers. I really haven't pushed the YouTube channel for months. So I'm going to get back to doing that. Please share the video. Please like the video. You like the video, you build up the algorithm, then people will see it in other areas that they wouldn't normally see it on YouTube. Therefore, once they hear the content, of course they're going to subscribe because the shit is fire. I'm good with it. I have no problem, like I said, with calling people out. When I see that they're actually working against our people, I have no problem with calling them out. That is an issue with me. Once you show me that you are willing to work against our people, then talk against our people, live against our people, I'm going to talk about it. Most of the time, I'll just leave people alone. You're out of my way, I have no problem. But when you come in and you start impeding on progress, talking about progress, talking against progress, that's a problem. That's where I got an issue with you. So people like that, and there's more, I just mentioned them two motherfuckers because they were just the most consistent. I haven't actually talked to Jeff in years, don't know where he's at, how he is, if he's even still alive and shit. But, I do see Carl's constant commentary on, Facebook. And he just says sidewide, just sidewinding shit about black people. And, he's all off into a lot of the celebrity shit, but, then he wants to kick back, Master Teacher or Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, this, that, and the other, whatever. I don't even think he's a fucking Muslim himself, probably eats chitlins and shit. I don't know. But my thing is, I don't even care about that. Just don't talk against us. We don't need you to talk for us. Just don't talk against us. You're just adding to the problem. You're just one more problem. You're the person that Harriet would have left behind the shed. And y'all know what I mean. I can be threatening out here, but Harriet would have left you. If she was trying to rescue people back in the day, she'd have left him behind the shed because he would have been talking against the movement, So we are where we are. I love the fact that we unified, and a lot of people felt like it was nothing. a lot of people felt like this whole thing dealing with the Latinos and the Caribbean people about who created hip hop was nothing. But I always look past what the issue is. The issue wasn't so much that people were going to think that they created hip hop. We knew we could debunk that theory. We knew we could debunk that ideology. All we had to do was just pick it apart just the way we needed to. Now, the thing was, though, to see American freedmen get on code with one another. And that was really just about the formation and the creating of hip hop. Just imagine if we get together like that about reparations. If we get together about that, about politics in general. If we do that, we are unstoppable. We are totally unstoppable if we collect each other, pick each other up, dust each other off, and go to the table the way we did for hip hop. If we do that with politics in general, we are good. And we can get rid of some of these coon-ass politicians out here who don't advocate for us, even though they come looking for our vote. And I know all over the country, there's different politicians that are lobbying to get into office. You know, one of the most notables are Stacey Abrams. You know, I hear she's actually got a decent chance of winning. I don't know. I just don't know how she could actually go out there and get black votes. And she's really not speaking on black causes. She may be speaking on Democrat causes, but she's not speaking on black causes. She's not advocating for black people. She's advocating for Democrats. And when you're just advocating for your political party, that's going to close out a great deal of your voting base. Black people. She's not going to get in with the majority of white people voting for her. You've got to understand, they do not want Stacey Abrams en masse. White people do not want her to win governor in Georgia. They do not. Now, she'll get enough, but she's really going to need the black vote. How do you get the black vote if you're not speaking up for black people? That's my issue. And that's my issue with any politician out here. How can you look a black man, a black woman in the face and talk that talk? Once they go to the polls, vote for you, then you don't walk that walk. And I have a motto now. Do it right this time, or you only do it right one time. And that's for my county. I'm talking specifically about Washtenaw County in the state of Michigan. And that's where I think we need to adopt everywhere. You fuck with us one time, you not gonna be a repeat. And that would keep a lot of people from getting 7, 8, 9, 10 terms. Also, we need to be talking about term limits en masse. As we are working towards this quest for reparations, this needs to be thrown in the discussion. And how do we do it? How do we get this thrown onto the table? We need to talk about term limits. We got too many 60, 70, 80-year-old politicians in office. That energy is old, decrepit, as is their ideologies. And if they're using the same ideologies that they used when they got in, you know it ain't working for us. You know it's not for us. It's not built for us. So politics has to work for us for it to work. We can't just vote as Democrats anymore. Hell, black people just can't vote as Republicans and think they're going to be all right. You've got to vote your particular interest. What's going to be good for you and yours. And if you're able to stretch outside of that, then you say, you know what? I want what's good for my people. And I know some of y'all just going to vote blue no matter who, because that's what y'all do. And that's what y'all going to do. You do what you do. Gigaboo. But anyways, so we got to stop doing counterproductive things. You know, this whole thing with like, was it Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish? It's grown legs. It's grown legs. What I have a problem with is I haven't seen very many black women or black men just on the grassroots level, you know, just regular old folks. I haven't seen them talk against this enough. And that's who's going to get things moving. Not these notables, not these podcasters, not these TV people. It's going to be grassroots people that are really good. Because right now, I think people think that because they've thrown out there that they're being shaken down, nobody wants to say anything. It's a 22-year-old who was 14 at the time that she took part in the video, and a 15-year-old who was 7 years old when he took part in his video. He's still a minor. But we don't have anybody stepping up and talking about this en masse. For some reason, I don't know why. I mean, this was child abuse, not acting. It was child abuse. And it was assault. And the fact that he actually touched him in that bathtub, that battery. I've learned a lot about assault and assault and battery. I don't think it was aggravated because I don't believe there might have been any penetration. But, you know, it's just a situation, assault and battery. You know, so I think there was some battery there because I think there actually might have been some physicality there between him and the little boy. I don't think there was any type of penetration and, you know, any malicious behavior. But the fact that he slid in that bathtub with that boy, that was a problem. The other stuff was ridiculous, and that was a problem as well. But there is absolutely no way that anybody should be seen that this is okay to happen to a 8-year-old child, 7-year-old child, I'm sorry, and a 14-year-old girl. I mean, to suggestively eat something and make it look like she's giving head to somebody. Come on, y'all. Would you want your daughter in that spot? Would you want your son in that spot? If not, then you need to be saying something. Use your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, some of your YouTube channels. Use that shit for more than just playing around. Use your TikTok for more than just playing around. Say something against Ari Spears. Say something against Tiffany Haddish. It's a must. It is a must. See, they're right now trying to preserve their careers. If you've heard any dialogue from Ari Spears or Tiffany Haddish, it's been about their career. They're worrying about character assassination, having their name dragged through the mud, because that affects their bag. They ain't said shit about going to jail, or they didn't do anything to hurt anybody. You know, they didn't do anything criminal. They're not worried. They're worrying about the bag. And Ari Spears, you know, I feel totally different about him because actually, as I said, I liked him as a comic. Years ago, I followed him as a stand-up. I thought he was really funny. I thought his impersonations are spot on. I thought, you know, this is a good dude out here. I didn't know about his personal life, didn't care about his personal life. He was there to make me laugh. He made me laugh. I was good with it. Now, I don't want to see shit that motherfucker's done. None of the old stuff. I don't want to go back and watch none of the old stuff because all I can envision is him looking through that newspaper and looking at that little boy with his legs cocked up. That baby oil, that bathtub. That's all I can see of Ari Spears. Now, I can't see no more jokes. Ain't no more funny with Ari Spears. And he did what the typical nigga is going to do. He went and hid behind his co-host to his podcast to speak his truth. And I felt like, motherfucker, if you gonna do that, you do all these videos with you laying in your bed and shit. You do all these videos, you know, with you walking around in your bathrobe and shit. Now that I'm starting to think totally different about, I'm starting to think like, why are you always in your bathrobe, dog? Why are you always laying in your bed, dog? Now I'm starting to think different things about Ari Spears. But why would you go on your platform to say this? Was his partner, was Andy Steinberg rubbing his back while he was saying it, making him feel good? You getting that white acceptance there? Because I know the podcast is mostly watched by white people. I mean, it's called Spearsburg. You know, I mean, I don't know why it couldn't be Andy and Aries or Aries and Andy, or that would be kind of a play on Amos and Andy, whatever. Spears and Steinberg, or Steinberg and Spears. Why did it have to be Spearsburg? Why'd y'all just have to fuse together another motherfucking American Jewish name? Why? Probably because Andy's putting motherfucking money up for it. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't even matter to me. The fact that he went on that show and made light of his debauchery, that is a problem. And he's talking about this is a shakedown and this and that. No, motherfucker, we saw the video. This ain't no shakedown. We ain't talking about the suit. We talking about what you did. Own up to what you did, dog. You got in the bathtub with a little boy. You was peering through a newspaper with the eyes poked out and shit, so you could see a little boy with his legs cocked up in the air. And it wasn't a situation where you did what you did and he was in another room doing what he did and they fused that video together. Y'all was in the same fucking room. You was literally looking at that little boy with his ass cocked up in the air. How come ain't nobody saying nothing about this shit? Where are we at with this shit? People want to say stuff when it's about somebody else and they kid talking about he identifies as a girl. Well, right now, we're talking about a little boy who identified as a boy and he was being looked at by another boy. Ain't no problem with that. Aries ain't big enough. He ain't notable enough. What about that little boy? That little boy is 15 years old, should be going into high school or in high school now. You think he's having a normal freshman year in high school? Do you think that girl grew up and went through high school normally? I mean, we do understand that people that are exposed to child sexual abuse a lot of times become child abusers themselves. A lot of times. So they basically just put these young people right out here, and they're fighting right now on their own. Their mother has nothing to do with this. I keep hearing about she was a friend of Tiffany Haddish's and she was trying to break into show business and she wanted Tiffany to do this and she extorted I don't give a fuck. I've seen the video. And after seeing the video, that just tells me one thing. The mama, she's out of pocket too. The mama is way out of pocket too. How can you allow your child to film something and you leave the set? These parents are different nowadays, and this happened 8 and 9 years ago, respectively. How do you leave your children with strangers? Because even if they knew Tiffany, they didn't know Aries, and they didn't know the film crew, and they didn't know any of the people that were going to be involved with it. You didn't know what your kids were going to be involved in, and you chose to leave. I think she needs to go too. I absolutely believe she needs to go too. See, the problem with nobody wants to make anybody be held responsible. Nobody wants to be, have anybody be made responsible. That's a problem. If you're not responsible for the actual act, you're at least culpable. Yeah, we can blame you because you left your children more than once. I guess the boys' video was 2 days and the girls' video was a 2 day, but it was like a year apart. They did the one video and then she took her boy back the next year and he did his video. And supposedly she never saw the footage. Supposedly Tiffany Haddish never saw. See, somebody lying. In 2013, 2014, I know shit wasn't moving as fast as it is now on social media platforms, but somebody had that video. And I'm sure Tiffany's seen it. She's lying to say that she hadn't seen that video. And the mother has to be lying that she didn't see the video. Or she would have been kicking up dust well before this. But for some reason, nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's saying a thing. That's a problem. And we just don't hold each other accountable on shit. And that's just the problem. How do we not hold one another accountable on things like this? It's beyond me. So I did want to play, because I actually recorded what he said. This motherfucker, man, he's something else, bro. He's something else. And I mean, just to know that he's this arrogant, to know that he is this arrogant, to have said what he said, I mean, you got to listen to it if you haven't heard it. The excuse that he made, the way he made the excuse, it's more insulting just to hear the excuse than just watching the video ignorantly. Now that you've seen the video and you listen to this, then you should become more upset. Or if you weren't upset at all, then here you go.
is an extortion case. You know, I'm going to echo her words. We won't be shaken down. And believe me, it's bothering me not to talk about the skit, because Annie and I have been talking about it. And there's some very valid things I feel like I have to say or want to say, but just can't at this time. And I'm no coward. I'm not running from anything, and I'm not guilty of anything. It's the reason why I won't turn my mentions off on my Instagram. You know, I'm not deleting any of my old posts, my characters being assassinated. This person has a history of these false accusations. And what's killing me is, you know, all the people hitting me up, at no point there's a little bit of, you know, common sense or red flags or you just, whatever, man. People are just running with this. And it didn't help with the Lizzo thing. So I'm having a bad week.
I mean, the way he ended that, he went off to something else. I'm having a bad week. Like, no, motherfucker, you're having a bad life. If you did this, you are having a bad life. You are not having a bad week. You are not having a bad month. You are not having a bad year. What Ari Spears just did cemented the fact that he's having a bad life. And I went back and I watched some stuff that was pre-Mad TV. Everybody ages. And some people age gracefully. One of the things that I've learned, Ari Spears isn't aging gracefully. And I don't know if he's been sick or if it's just been, you know, all the drugs and the alcohol and shit that he's done through his years of being in Hollywood. I don't know exactly what it is, you know, but he doesn't look well. He doesn't look healthy, you know, and I'm really into that now. You know, I'm into making sure that we just lost a brother, you know, that this comedian guy who just died, they saying it's natural causes. I'm 52 years old. If I drop dead, I need them to cut me open and be like, what the fuck happened? He was feeling fine. And this guy's been okay, been doing all kind of spots and all kinds of shit. I guess he had a real active TikTok platform and everything. And he was a writer for a bunch of shows. And he's just dead at 54. And immediately they just chalk it up to natural causes. That ain't natural to die at 54. What the fuck? Are we selling ourselves so short as a people now to say, he's up to 54, he's good. He's out of here. He's okay. It was natural. He didn't get shot. Didn't drive a drug overdose. I guess those are not natural. Gunshots, you know, overdoses, alcohol poisoning, car accidents, you know, those are not natural. But to die at 54, they say that's natural. That's natural causes. It's just dumb. And I don't see people pulling together for these youngins. Fuck the mother. The mother, she's out. I believe she needs to be arrested as well. Because it sounds like she had her interests at heart, not those children's interests when she was trying to get the bag back in the day. And then she started maybe even extorting Tiffany and or Aries about the video because she knew what was in the video. Because to say that you didn't know what was in the video is a flat out lie. You ain't gone all these years not to know what your kids were filmed in and not have them tell you what they were filmed in. See, that's how I know she's lying. You trying to tell me that all these years these kids have held that inside, never told their mother what they were subjected to? It's bullshit. But see, she's made people out here believe that shit, so everybody's buying the story. Everybody is buying the story that she doesn't know anything. She's playing that damsel in distress. Fuck you, bitch. You knew exactly what you did. First and foremost, you do not leave children with adults that they don't know. And you're talking about they're going to get filmed? What the fuck is that about? Yeah, we're going to do a whole video. They didn't give you a storyboard, no type of skit, no type of script, no type of nothing. You just left your children and went somewhere. I mean, even if you're on the other side of the wall and you're looking through the glass that they can't see and you can, hey, you know, you're there. If they don't allow you to be right inside the studio. But she says she left both times. How did you leave in 13, then leave in 14 after your daughter had been subjected to what she had been subjected to? This is why I believe, yeah, she might be a shakedown artist. She may be. But I don't give a fuck about that. What I think needs to be happening with them anyway, if you really want to make Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears think about this shit the real way, just freeze their assets. Just freeze their assets. I know they're not ridiculously out here bagged up, but they've got enough to where if you freeze their assets and they can't move, I'm talking about all the way down to getting a goddamn cup of Starbucks. They try to go pay it with Cash App or Apple Pay or some shit, and they can't do it. Freeze their assets. I bet you somebody will start talking then. Don't worry about the ongoing legal thing, Tiffany. That ain't got. Why did you teach a girl how to give head with some food? That's what we want to know. That's what inquiring minds want to know. And as far as this being a shakedown for you, Aries, we know your bag done ran out anyway. You married some woman 3-4 times. You got kids and shit all over the fucking place. We know you ain't getting the bag like that. Besides that, you a full-time podcaster now. We don't even see you out here on the road no more doing your thing. We don't. So my thing is, okay, so maybe she is shaking y'all down. Who gives a fuck? She's shaking y'all down. All right? That's how she gets her bag. How y'all got your bag was doing comedy routines and comedy skits and acting in movies and shit. But you decided to do this with a child. And this was child abuse. This was child sexual abuse. And because you decided to slide in that bathtub, now it becomes battery. Should no grown man who that child ain't his. I've seen fathers and kids take baths and things like that on a total platonic level. I've seen that before. But I'm talking about this is a perfect stranger. Well, imperfect stranger. I mean, shit perfect about Aries. And you in the bathtub with a little boy? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? That's crazy to me. That's crazy that it even happened and that it was allowed to happen to the daughter first, then to the son, and all these years have gone by and ain't nobody said shit. Now Tiffany denying that she ever saw the video. She thought that it was funny, and then when she found out it was this and that, it wasn't funny. No, bitch, you know it wasn't funny. It's had nothing to do about comedy. And I haven't confirmed it yet, but I heard Nickelodeon had something to do with the shit, that they was back in the video. Somehow back in the video. I don't know for sure yet. And if that comes out, oh boy, now you really got to start to shake Nickelodeon loose. Like y'all was in on this shit. But we already know how these high-end children's networks get down. And who's behind a lot of the shit. A lot of the times be straight up pedos. Straight up. We're about 37 in, and hopefully this has been playing out well. One of the things that I think we also need to do, and hopefully this audio comes through. I got a video because I saw this on television, and I just said, you know, okay, what the fuck? I mean, we're gonna clown, and here we're gonna clown. I get it. But goddamn, if you're gonna clown, just be the clown. How you gonna get in something that actually should be somewhat serious, too serious, and clown, and then be the Sambo for some white individual? Because all they doing is using you to make more money, because they already making money. They didn't need to make this video anything close to it. But they know who their client base is, and they know what their client base is about. So they decided to make this video, and this video is fucked up. Let me just be honest with you. It's fucked up. Okay? And I want to play the video. And hopefully the audio comes through on the video. So hold on one quick second. Here. No, not it there. Okay. Go. Okay. Yeah, we're going to share this and then I'm going to start it up. And hopefully the audio comes through.
Your car got caught up in the crash and you need help real fast. Where you gonna get the cash? He's Apple Bomb and Stone. Auto wrecked and hit your head, can't work.
Hopefully you can hear that.
You stuck in bed. Your insurance won't give up the bread.
Oh, looks like it's freezing.
Apple Bomb and Stone. That's 833-WIN. B.I.G. Yeah, 833-WIN B.I.G. Pick up the phone. Call Apple Bomb and Stone. Pick up the phone. Call Apple Bomb and Stone.
Okay, so I don't know if that audio actually came through or not, to be honest with you. We'll get out of there. I didn't put phones on. I'm in here. I know it's quiet. So if the audio did not come through, I get it. We'll try it again, but that was some coon shit.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many.
That was some coon shit. And
that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people
just gird up because yes, absolutely, absolutely, Lair. I mean, a law firm, Applebaum and Stone, decided to do something that I just felt like, okay, y'all know this is basically Conan. Y'all getting these people out here, but then they chose to like act out in the video. Had two heifers in the video, looked like they must have worked for the law firm. They up there dancing and everything. I'm like, do we need that? Do we really need that? Is that something that black folks need? Is that something that black people desire? If I go looking for a lawyer, the last thing I need to know is if they can stand in a b-boy stance and if 2 tons of fun dipped in mayonnaise got rhythm or not. I don't give a fuck. Can you take my case and win? That's all I give a fuck when it comes to a lawyer. I don't give a fuck whether they can dance off beats or not. Cross their arms and go back to back. Fuck Applebaum and Stone. But really, whoever fucking acted in this video, fuck them too. These are the type of people that hold back progress, y'all. Hold back our progress, y'all. Don't y'all understand that? These people hold us back. And I know, they just acted, They just actors looking for work. Well, so was Tiffany Haddish. She was just looking for work, and look where it ended her. So was Ari Spears. He was just looking for work, and look where it got him. All work ain't good work. There's work at the post office, goddammit. Shit. Fuck is wrong with people? Thanks, Free. I think you meant that audio did come through. Thanks. I came in here like a novice without no phones on. I figured, I really wasn't going to do a whole lot of outside audio. I really just wanted to put that up because I seen that and I was like, that's just dastardly. That's just dastardly. I mean, I get upset about certain shit probably more than the average person. I get it. But the reason I get upset is because I see how it derails us. And if it doesn't actually derail us, it's just an obstacle. It stops us. It stops to make us think. And we think about dumb shit like that versus just keeping our nose down and just moving and whatever. We talk about things that are happening across this country to American freedmen. I mean, this is why I have the Mississippi flag as my avatar right now. I could be on video, but nobody fucking care about seeing me. I want people to look at that flag. If I'm up, right now, that's what I want people looking at, because my mind is on Jackson. And I see people for what they are. I get it. I see people for what they are, but they're not going to talk about Jackson. They're not going to talk about Jackson. They're not going to post Jackson. They're not going to say, pray for Jackson, Mississippi. Pray for Jackson. They're not going to do that. They'll say, pray for Paris. Pray for Italy. I seen y'all praying for Ukraine. Pray for everywhere else. But this is a city in the state of Mississippi, in this country, and I haven't seen 10 people on my timeline put this flag up and say, pray for Jackson, Mississippi. So if you have it in you, put the post up. You know, y'all know how to save stuff, screenshot stuff. Hell, just go on Google, get the Jackson flag, get the Mississippi flag, and say Jackson. South Jackson is really where we're paying a lot of our attention to, because that's where we're densely populated in South Jackson. I've never, ever, on a universal level, asked for donations, and I know I have to start. I'm being pushed to do that. I get it. And right now we are at the 8th, September 8th. For the remainder of this month, if there's anything through the Cash App, I've got it on the border, at Freedmen Media, through the PayPal, at Freedmen Media, anything that comes through on the Cash App, on the PayPal, goes straight to Jackson. We've got people, we've got boots on the ground, we've got people down there, we've got family down there. Because I ain't never asked for nothing for me, and I'm not gonna start. Any cause that I'm a part of, I generally will facilitate myself. But once you sit down with some people who know more than you know and doing better than you doing, you listen. And they said, you know what? We love you. And the people who listen to you love you. The people that are going to listen to you are going to love you. But God damn it, you can't do this all your own. You've got to work with your collective. You've got to work with the people that you speak to. So I'm going to use and utilize the family to share these videos, because I just don't need y'all to do it. See, I ain't going to be like one of these Negro preachers out here. See, y'all Negro preachers at y'all church, they fleece y'all every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and take all your money and get rich off of y'all, but don't do nothing else. No, we need to go past the congregation. We got to go outside of the immediate family. We got to go to those long lost relatives and share these messages and let them hit the Cash App and let them hit the PayPal. Because obviously I ain't needed it then. I don't need it now. This is for Jackson. This is for the people that are in Jackson. Right now, I mean, bottled water, it's even up than what it was before COVID. But $5, let's just say $5 buys a case of water. You ain't got $5? $5 buys a case of water. You drop a 20, you just bought 4 cases of water. You drop a 50, you bought 10 cases of water. Hell, I've done it myself many a time when water was much cheaper. My grandson did it. Any philanthropic efforts that I make nowadays anyway, that goes through my grandkids. I don't take credit for it, because I wouldn't be out here doing it if I hadn't had kids, if I didn't have grandkids. Y'all better be glad I had kids and I have grandkids, or boy, I'd be something else out here. I probably would be a preacher, and I'd be fleecing some of y'all. So where I'm trying to be is always on the right side of things, okay? I'm always trying to be on the right side of things. And I don't always end up there. I get it. My heart might be in the right place. My head might be in the right place. But sometimes I end up on the other side of things. You know, it's like right now, I don't know exactly who's going to be fighting here in Washtenaw County. There's a new park, I guess, being built over on the north side of town, over where the cops shot and killed Ara Rosser in cold blood in her doorway. I think that park needs to be named Ara Rosser Park. Now, I don't know who to take that to, but anybody that's listening to this video, I'm going to share it to the Ann Arbor Politics, and I'm going to let them know. Right around the 50-minute mark, you need to be checking in because they don't like to listen to my videos unless it's particularly talking about Ann Arbor. So right at the 50-minute mark, let's mark that free. 50-minute mark, we talked about Ann Arbor. And we talked about the park that they make it on the north side of town, the northwest side of town, where Ara Rosser was gunned down in cold blood by that soon-to-be promoted officer. He's been promoted by now. Oh, yeah. He didn't get fired. He didn't get demoted. He didn't get desk duty. He got a promotion for killing that black woman. But where are the people fighting for Ara Rosser's legacy? Right here, Freedmen Media is fighting for Ara Rosser's legacy right now. That park needs to be named after Ara Rosser. It was just a wooded area before. It's unnamed right now. It's an unnamed park. They said they can't decide on the name. Well, I just decided for you, motherfucker. Ara Rosser. AURAROSSER. Let me know if I need to text it to you. We not gonna get it right if we just keep getting it wrong. And if we sit on the sidelines, they'll name the motherfucking park after a tree or something. They'll name it after a school or something or a neighborhood. No, name it after somebody who meant something to this community. And Ara Rosser meant something to this community. And she means even more now because all we have is her memory. So it's been decided, Ara Rosser Park, we need to do that. So a couple days ago, go back and look through my phone here. A couple days ago, I'll get back with you in a minute, brother. I'm just, you probably don't think I'm live. I said Queen Elizabeth just passed away. A couple days ago. I was so proud of myself yesterday, y'all. Whew. I made nachos. I was gonna make tacos, but I didn't have no boats. I'm kind of sedity now. I don't eat out of taco shells no more. I like the little boats. And I made nachos out of walnuts. Y'all know, I ain't had no meat in 5 months now. And well, outside of some scrimp. But yeah, I made nachos, started out tacos, but didn't have no boat. And I made it, and I was impressed. I was impressed by myself, and I appreciate Sister Shannon walking me through it, because she kind of texted me through it, as I was getting busy, because I got kind of stuck, with my timing. I had got the timings mixed up, but she got me right. There's something that I was looking at here. Well, they showed that picture of Megan this, and I was about to say, can't say it. She's not a stallion, she's a mayor. They showed that picture of her without any makeup on, and a lot of people are saying she's ugly. I actually don't think she's ugly. But the perception of what she looks like naturally, but I didn't think she was ugly. But she's giving everybody this ideology of what she's supposed to look like, and she really don't look like it. She really don't look like it. Man, I'm trying to figure out where I saw this. Well, it don't matter. Maybe you know what? Maybe one of those things. So I see a lot of stuff online, and I don't screenshot the stuff, which is dumb, because that's where I can go back and get the information, get all the text from it, but I don't. So, that was dumb. So I apologize. Because I just wasted about 30 seconds of y'all time. But if you've been here this long, I ain't really wasting your time. What I'm trying to get to is making sure that everybody is just in line. I'm telling you, That fight about hip hop was more than a fight about hip hop. And we had a great Twitter space on that. If you have not seen that Twitter space, we had a great Twitter space on that, about getting the wake-up call, because that was a wake-up call, because these were people. Now we know Gordo Jose ain't one of us, Fat Joe, he ain't one of us. I call him Gordo Jose to be, I speak a little Espanol there, and we know he's not one of us, but we didn't think that he would be so goddamn much of a traitor to actually say that Latinos created hip-hop. And as far as Busta Rhymes monkey ass goes, see, Busta Rhymes insulted black folks there. But if you are a Caucasian person, you should be just as upset at Busta Rhymes as black people. But they're not. Why? Because Busta Rhymes ain't a part of Caucasian culture. He's a part of black culture. And we let him ride, and we supported Buster. Hard ER. Buster is a hard ER. He is no longer an A. He is a hard ER. We let Buster ride for years. Over 30 years, Buster's been out here. Through his records, through his movies, his television appearances. For him to say what he said, I felt it was despicable. And I know most people have heard what he said. If you haven't heard what he said, let me just get a reminder, because I think we need to open up wounds. I think we need to open up wounds. And when we don't open up wounds, a lot of things can get forgotten. A lot of things can be forgotten. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna open up the wound. Hold on a second. Yeah. So I think we got it right here. Hold on one second.
The United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. The United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture.
You hear that?
The United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the U.S. whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the U.S., but it's a mix-up of all of our cultures in the urban community. The Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence, and we've always had, and we always will, and it's just been that way. So I've actually been influenced by the Latino community, which allows me to feel that much more comfortable putting my West Indian influence in my music, because they made me feel that much more proud to be like, yeah, my Luisa Jamaican, and I say it. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times, it ain't until you're made to feel comfortable giving to the people who are what you really are, what your influences are, and you're upbringing in the house, that you do it. So, I've been made to feel comfortable doing it. I think I also got to acknowledge and credit the Latinos for their influence on me.
Fool ass punk. I mean, you fool ass, clown ass punk. Really? America didn't make you feel comfortable? Trevor? I'm thinking about stopping to call him Buster. But Buster is a good name as long as you're using the hard ER. But I'm thinking we should just go with Trevor. That's his name. His name is Trevor. And since Trevor didn't feel comfortable until the Latinos, until all the Caribbean motherfuckers who've also washed up on the shores of America made him feel comfortable. And see, I think he was in a Caribbean territory there. He was in a Latino territory or something. So I think that's why he was really cooning right there. Talking on that Jamaica, no, fuck all that, man. And I said it yesterday. I wonder what the leaders of the new school think about this, because I don't believe that all of the leaders of the new school, the group that he originally broke out in, I don't believe all of those motherfuckers were Caribbean. I think there was some Freedmen in that group. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they feel disrespected by what Trevor has said about them. We have no culture. If we had no culture, your people wouldn't have been here, Trevor. Your people wouldn't have had the opportunity to wash up on the shores of the greatest country on the planet. Say what you will about America, but I ain't going no motherfucking place. Okay? Say what you will. I am an American freedman. Okay? I belong here, so I'm going to stay here. Now, do we travel? Of course we travel. God damn it. This is mine. Buster can't say that. There's a whole other territory that he feels more comfortable in. And besides, he can't call somewhere home that he doesn't feel comfortable in. He feels comfortable in the Spanish-speaking territories. He feels comfortable in the Caribbean territories. But he don't feel comfortable where he's gotten his bag 99% of his life. Because the 1% that he's been out of the country, that don't mean shit. Yeah, they like you while you're there, but when you leave, they just waiting for the next nigga to show up. Fuck you. Now, the queen dying, like they said, this brother died at 54, natural causes. She died in natural causes. She was like 137 years old. That's natural causes. That's when you die. You die like that. You don't die in your mid-50s and call it natural causes. And I know she had some other illnesses and shit like that, but shit gonna start happening. Once you start tipping the scales over 90 and shit, anything can happen. You cough wrong. Oh, how'd he die? He coughed. You fall down the stairs. Nobody should ever ask how you died. If you fall down the stairs and die right after, how'd he die? He fell down the stairs. Well, no, how'd he die? Motherfucker, he fell down the stairs. He's 90. You don't need much else. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I am on that shit. But I just need our people to understand where we are out here. We've got to do for ourselves, and we've got to think politically from the time we get up. That don't mean we go beating up on anybody that don't look like us, because that happens enough anyway. And we definitely don't go beating, that people that do look like us, because that happens way too much as well. Speaking of that, what is it? I thought this was some shit that happened just back in the day, and it just says it's now gotten to the point where now I'm not sure the real logic of robbing a pizza driver. I've never understood the logic of robbing anybody. Let me be clear on that. I ain't never put a ski mask on and stuck nobody up. Okay? Ain't never needed to. I get it the way I get it. If you know how to get it, you don't need to rob nobody. Ain't that right, Frank Dodd? But anyway, a pizza driver in Detroit was shot and killed. And I guessed this abandoned house that he was lured to on a false pizza delivery, it's like the third time from the third different pizza franchise they did it. I don't know if it's the same individuals, but they shot and killed this man yesterday, 62 years old. 62-year-old man trying to earn a living the right way. He wasn't crawling through nobody's window. He wasn't trying to slide nobody a note, robbing no bank. He wasn't trying to grab nobody's purse in a shopping mall parking lot. He was delivering a fucking pizza. What I find to be even more unconscious about this shit, I mean, I'm totally unconscious about this. Aren't most pizza people paid by card, or don't most people make their pizza orders now online? So these pizza drivers really aren't even carrying cash the way they did back in the 80s and the 90s. I delivered pizza back in the day. I've delivered all kind of food. Well before all these cash systems came into play, Square and PayPal and all that shit. All this card reader stuff, that's all new stuff. But why the fuck are people out here still trying to rob pizza drivers? Are you serious? I didn't even know that pizza drivers still carried around enough cash to make it even a thing that you'd want to rob them. And it ain't like you can be like, hey, can you let him know I got 100? So you send him with change. And if you do, okay, the pizza's $20. So you're going to send him with $80. You going to rob a motherfucker for $80? You going to go sit for $80? Now this motherfucker, when they catch him, he going to go sit forever. He not only had it be premeditated, this man was white. And you already know. They don't do us the same as we do them. We can find a white man guilty and give him 10 years for Botham John. And go down there and hug her before she goes away. Before the person gets walked away, everybody want to hug her, including the judge. I wonder if the judge is going to hug this person that killed this 62-year-old white man delivering a pizza. You going to hug him? You going to give him a Bible? Is that white man's family going to forgive the killer? They're going to hug him before he's led away in shackles? I don't think so. But that's some of the dumbest shit. That's a dumb play. That's a dumb ass play. A pizza driver in 2022 couldn't be carrying no more than $40, $50 at the most. Let's say he got his tips in his pocket. He might have $60. You're going to go sit forever for $60. And I'm sure they're young. And boy, when they break past them walls, yep. Them brothers in there are going to be sniffing. They're going to be sniffing that fresh meat. Mm-hmm. They're going to be sniffing that fresh meat. Yeah. Good afternoon, Sister Cynthia. How you doing today? Yeah, it looks like all three platforms actually came through. Like I said, I wasn't going to do any shares. I wanted to see how this was going to work out. I'll have more slides next time I come back up. I want to make sure that I've got all the audio kinks worked out. I've had some suggestions, and people think that, I should take phone calls. It's so funny when people say, you should take call-ins. I'm like, shit, I got to get that people listening first. I don't need to have a damn call-in line if I only got 7 people listening to the live. My videos get up there, they get up to a couple hundred views, whatever, at the end. A lot of YouTube would stay low because that's a whole universe out there. That's why I got to get the YouTube subscribers up. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're catching this video, subscribe to Freedmen Media on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'll be utilizing that Facebook platform more starting this weekend, and making sure that the content gets pushed through there. We've just got to really start to focus on working with each other. And I'm glad for those brothers and sisters that came at me and asked me, because they really thought that was probably more than what it was. But, I just had to let them know. It's like, somebody talked out of turn. And once somebody talks out of turn, I don't have the filter for it anymore. You talk out of turn and get to talking slick to me and shit, I'm going to let you know about you and your mammy. I don't give a fuck. Okay? And it's just a matter of you not saying anything because I wasn't talking to you. Just don't say nothing because I'm not talking to you. And you don't know what I'm talking about. Ask me what I'm talking about. Then we can gain some clarity before you get to insulting me. Because once you lay that insult out there, I'm going to talk about you and your mammy. I don't give a fuck. People think they're doing so much out here, but they ain't doing shit. You beating your chest. What you beating your chest for? Because you did a good deed? Or you thought you did a good deed? What you did was a good deed might not even be a good deed to most. Might be some symbolic deeds, but you might not do no good deeds. And at the end of the day, if you just doing some shit just to get some bread back in your motherfucking pocket, you ain't doing shit out here, nigga. Nobody give a fuck about you. And I don't need to let the name come across my stream today because he don't deserve it. Life of a has-been. Eat a dick, nigga. So we have a long way to go, but not really, because I believe once all the groundwork gets laid on the left coast, California is doing a great job with CJEC and the task force working towards getting all of this stuff worked out, you know, with reparations and whatnot. And I think it'll serve as a blueprint for other states to follow. It'll be a great thing. As we know, politics moves in California and moves in New York, and generally moves for the rest of the country. And I'm not concerned about all the stuff that's going on in DC right now. I'm not even concerned about the midterms. I'm not concerned about none of that. We've got to be concerned about our thing. We got to continue to move out here. We got to continue to look forward and occasionally look over our shoulder because there's somebody coming up from behind. We get it. But we don't stop. We don't let clowns talk against us. If it's a clown talking against you, you got to stop that shit right in its tracks. You ever notice how other people don't talk about each other the way we do? And they don't allow other people to talk about them the way we do. We allow people to talk down to us. We allow our own to talk down to us. It ain't nobody gonna rescue us. So we gotta stop that shit. And once we get that stopped, then we can form a unified front, and then we can go out there and really take care of business. But don't spend a whole lot of time on them naysayers. Don't spend a whole lot of time on anybody that's talking slick. Because they're gonna talk slick regardless. But I guarantee when policy and legislation starts to slide towards the American Freedmen way, they're going to be right in line for it. All the big businessmen especially, all the big business women especially. Oh yeah, they going to need it then. I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn student loan debt. I already told y'all niggas wasn't going to pay that student loan debt anyway. I don't give a shit if y'all getting 10, 20 grand scraped off. Y'all had already charged that to the game. Y'all wasn't going to pay that shit. And if you in your 40s and your 50s and you still owe student loan debt and you wasn't paying it and they wiped it, I don't want to hear about it. Now, some of y'all got contracts in place and some of y'all pay off monthly. I get it. But many of y'all don't. And all y'all that used to go to Washington, well, not really go to Washington, y'all used to register at Washington. Y'all used to get y'all case, your course load and shit. And as soon as you got that damn check, they never heard of you again. Bueller. Yeah, that's the way it was. Y'all would get that damn check, that financial aid check, and be ghost. Go live good for about 3-4 months. And don't go to near class. That's okay. That's okay. Y'all ain't getting y'all shit knocked off anyway. Y'all should know that. There's some checks and balances to this shit. Everybody ain't getting it, but y'all really not getting it. Y'all it's gonna be on y'all credit. Okay? It is what it is. So, what I'm going to do boy, Queen Elizabeth, she's trending. Now she gonna go to heaven, and Princess Diana gonna beat shit out of her. You know the princess is still mad about that. Yeah. If you don't think she had anything to do with that, you crazy. You crazy. If anybody that could really done anything like that, it would have been her. Yeah. I wonder if Elton John gonna play at the funeral. You know, Elton might play at the funeral and shit. I'll watch Elton. I don't give a fuck about, you know. So true, Sister Cynthia. Some of our folks are allergic to reading information that will just improve themselves and the quality of political engagement. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know exactly what there is, what harm there is to actually just taking in the information. Whether you utilize it or not, it's positive information for you to move forward with. Now, if you choose not to move forward with, that's actually on you. I get it. That's actually on you. But to be armed with the information is much better than to not be armed. Some of y'all don't be armed with shit.
The freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lives in war, baby, and you give us nothing. Now the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now you kill, you want to.
Not the tear. So I'll check back in through different spots of this stream to make sure that everything came through clearly. I want these streams to be quality streams. We got
This revolution is filled with so many
that is
ironies,
that.
really.
Okay.
First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word.
That's something
Right?
happening.
If you are a
Right
man, you keep your word. And now
Oh yeah, and the Coney Island. Oh my goodness. I was actually going to do a quick live on that. So, you know, if you're not in Michigan, then you don't know about this, so it doesn't really mean anything, but just listen because you're already here. Downtown Detroit, there are two Coney Islands that are right next to each other. Now, for a long time, I felt like it was the same damn people that owned it, or at least the same families, you know. They act like they're in competition with one another. I think it's two totally different businesses, yeah, but it's also the same families, and they just tweak their little recipes and do a couple of different things to have one be one and one be another. One's Lafayette, one's American Coney Island. God damn, they showed some rats. I mean, some rats in this restaurant. And the inspector went in there, and this is the arrogance. I don't know exactly what their nationality is. I don't know. Are they Greeks? Are they Palestinians? Albanians? I don't know exactly what they are. But the inspector immediately came in once they got this forward from somebody who had took a video of rats running rampant in the Coney Island. Okay. All on the floor, through the dining room, in the kitchen, and everything, right? Inspectors went right down there. Like, what the fuck? Because hell, you got to know, City of Detroit employees eat at these Coney Islands, right? So yeah, they rushed down there and learned that, yeah, they were totally infested with rats. Didn't see any rats, they said. Of course you didn't, because, they scurried once you start walking through there and shit. But they seen rat droppings everywhere. Rat droppings were every fucking where, right? Closed them down and said, get this shit right. Them motherfuckers were so arrogant, they opened the business back. Thought they would just do a little deep cleaning and open the business back. No black restaurateur open his business back once he was shut down by the health department, because then he's risking getting shut down forever. They opened their business back. And then when the city found out that they opened again, they came back and it was like, shut this shit down. We'll be back in a few days to do some checks. So basically what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to be around there sweeping up rat turds 24/7 until they can tell them, yeah, we got it. And then when they tell them they got it, then they're going to have to be sweeping up. You ain't going to get rid of the rats because the whole building's infested. They've got two empty storefronts next to them where the rats are over there living good. Not G-O-O-D, G-O-O-D-T. They living good in two empty storefronts. And they over there. So if you blow your shit up, yeah, you can't open for a minute. But then you got to blow them other storefronts up. You blow the other storefronts up, you got to blow the next restaurant up. So they might have to shut down both Coney Islands because one of them showing rats, but you got to know both of them got rats. The rats just don't get to American and be like, okay, guys, we got to turn around. We're only fucking with Lafayette here. Because it was Lafayette that was infested. Supposedly American ain't got no rats. And they had people, they was interviewing people and they're like, ooh, I'll never eat there again. I'll never eat there again. But the inspector was like, oh yeah, we want to get back on our feet because we eat there all the time. Really? So you're part of the problem. You've probably been letting them slide with a little light inspection because they are a heritage restaurant. And they get the benefit of the doubt. See, I know what that's about. When you've been open for a long time, yeah, that inspector comes in and does the inspection. But they mainly looking for shit not being stored properly at the right temperatures, making sure your coolers are at the right shit, making sure your grease and all that shit, making sure you got all your cleaning stuff and your bleach and your sink. And that's what they really looking for. They ain't looking for no rats. Because every restaurant has rodents. Every single one. It's just whether your restaurant is attractive to rodents. And if your restaurant is attractive to rodents, yeah, they're going to be all in the dining room like they was. They're going to be dancing all up in the videos just like they was. They was in the trash. They was climbing up over in the trash can. That lets you know you're infested. They wasn't just on the ground just picking up crumbs and shit. They was climbing up over in the trash cans inside the restaurant. They had made themselves at home. They knew when they shut down for the night, they got 7-8 hours before anybody else is coming back up in there. Okay, guys, let's go. It's time to eat. And then they come in there and they do their thing. And when they get to unlocking them doors and shit and lifting them gates up and shit the next day, that's when okay, time to go, guys. Gotta go. That's what they do. But yeah, Lafayette, Coney Island, rat infested. And tried to reopen once they did a little cleanup. No. You gotta bomb them places. That's the only way you're gonna get rid of them damn rats. You gotta push them somewhere else. You can push them over to your cousin's restaurant, because I know them motherfuckers related. You ain't gonna tell me they ain't related. They look just alike. Yeah, people look just alike. But that's okay, because I don't eat it, either one of them. Why? Because I don't eat meat no more. And hadn't eaten at either one of them in years, so it didn't even really matter. So to all y'all hot dog eaters downtown Detroit, bon appetit. Bon appetit. Yeah. So y'all be good, man. You know, I'm going to get on up out of here. See how this stream actually worked out. Appreciate everybody that checked in. Sister Cynthia, Descendant Layer. Free on the Facebook side. My brother Joe, I always appreciate you checking in, brother. I know you got your grind going. Appreciate you. Big week for Ann Arbor sports. Two rival schools, Huron and Pioneer, play each other. I think the youngins play today, and then the varsity teams play tomorrow. Hopefully, the River Rats can pull out their first victory. You know, my alma mater. Hopefully, we can get our first victory. Would be good to get it after. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be saying this if the game was played when it's normally played, because this game used to be played at the end of the year, but they won't allow the game to be played at the end of the year because of a big skirmish that happened years back, and it's never worked its way to being back to being the fall classic end of the season game. So they play it in the third week of the season. Means absolutely nothing now to them, I guess. But it should be the game that, hey, you know, for bragging rights, leading into basketball season, leading into the other sports seasons, or just for the rest of the school year. You know, you got the football victory generally dictates the bragging rights, and then the basketball team, if they're good and they beat, now, man, it goes right into spring, then, you know, it is what it is. But what they're going to do is they're just going to make this, you know, because there's a third school in the city. So they really don't want these to be considered the main rivals. They think all three of them should be rivals, but they're not going to be. One school is only 10 years old, okay? You got one that's damn near 100 and one that's about, you know, a little bit more than 50. But how can a school that's 10 years old be considered a rival? They're not rivals just because they're in the same city. But so yeah, looking forward to that. And Michigan plays again. I'm really upset that they got raised up to number 4 in the country. I don't think we're the 4th best team in the country. Hell, we don't even know who we want to be our quarterback full time. So I don't believe we're the 4th best team in the country.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really.
But we play this weekend, and that should be a good game. A good victory. I don't think it's going to be a good game. Probably going to hang 50 on Hawaii. But I went to that first game, and I tell you, they incorporated something new at Michigan Stadium. They brought in a DJ. And this is how you know Latinos and Caribbean motherfuckers didn't create hip-hop. They brought in a DJ to play music during every fucking ball stoppage of the game. It actually felt like I was in a club. I mean, every time the ball stopped, they start playing some music. Then they would actually play. You could tell they weren't in sync with the PA announcer. They would play over the PA announcer. He's trying to announce some shit, and they playing music. And as much as I love hip-hop, real hip-hop, not this shit that they call hip-hop now, I don't want to hear it every ball stoppage at a football game. Especially, it was kind of aggravating because it was hot. And you're trying to do what you need to do to stay cool. Early game, so there's no shadow from the press box on each side. Early game, sun's just leaning on you, just leaning right on your back. And all they're doing is playing all this fucking hip-hop music. A lot of it was hip-hop music. Most of it was hip-hop music. Then there was the pop music. And it's funny when they break out the rock and roll songs. Because, you know, there's some rock and roll songs that are great stadium tracks. But then there's some rock and roll songs that you absolutely don't need played in any type of football, basketball, baseball game. It's just not meant for it, okay? They'd play that shit and the crowd wouldn't even move. I'm like, did they just do like some affirmative action shit here? Was this just some equality shit here? Some DEI shit? They just played a white song because they played 30 black songs in a row? And they play like, they play like crunk shit. We walked in, it was Bone Crusher, Never Scared, and they played T.I., Bring Them Out, and they play all these Southern rappers and shit, and then they play, they're gonna play your normal shit like your Drakes and all that other stuff. I think they might even play Juvenile Back That Thing. I'm like, they play Back That Thing up at Michigan Stadium? But personally, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think that it's necessary. We had a PA announcer, he could play some music. Got somebody in there with him. Let him play some music. At least we know that they're not going to fucking drown out the PA announcer when he's trying to announce something. And frankly, the kids don't give a shit. The kids are totally inebriated by the time they get there. And I'm talking about even for a noon game. They have already liquored up heavily and probably taken some illegal substances and some recreational ones. So they don't really care about the music. What they care most about, what I think that they really care most about, is that their team wins. That's what I think they care about. Okay. So with that DJ, then you had the band come out, and the band just seemed very underwhelming because that music was so loud being pumped through the monitors. I remember the band sounding like really loud back in the day. For some reason, did they not have the band mics turned on? They should have mics and those horns and drums and stuff, right? To make the band sound louder. The crowd wasn't that loud. The band just sounded very low level. And then the music was just drowning. They do all the tributes. I'm great with that. Veterans, championship teams. I'm great with all that stuff. That's what being in a Michigan game is about. With all that goddamn music playing, the ball stoppages. Oh, geez. It's a trip. But once again, before I get out of here, please like this video. You're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter. Share the video, share the content. Most importantly, like I said, I've never gotten into this, and I know I got to do it. It's why I have such ambivalence about doing it. But we're doing it for a good cause, and we're going to continue to do it for good causes. Mississippi needs us. The family needs us in Mississippi. So if you see the scroll across the bottom, PayPal, the Cash App, at Freedmen Media. $5 will buy a case of water. truthfully, if we're getting it in bulk, and I'm sure the people that are down there are getting it in bulk, you're probably getting 2 cases for $5. Okay. I don't know the exact cost, from state to state, just going based off of what it is here. But they're able to secure some things. Plus, there's also a brother down there with a water filtration system. He needs help. So people that are on the ground down there, we need to support whichever way the money needs to go. It's got to go to Jackson, and it's got to go to family. So please do what you need to do. If you're watching other platforms and they're saying, hey, support Jackson, support it, goddammit. Maybe you don't do it through Freedmen Media, but you do it through somebody. Y'all spend money on stupid shit out here. At least you can send $5 to Jackson. $5. You ain't gonna miss that. Some of y'all got Cash App money that's just sitting there, Apple Pay money just sitting there. Send it. And we will definitely acknowledge those who do contribute to the family. Absolutely. Simply because this is what we need. We know we're systemically fucked up, and we've got to do some political things to get that right. But where we can help one another, let's do that. Let's do that. And hopefully y'all noticed, I absolutely went through this whole stream without mentioning the return of Barry and Shelley. They went back to the White House. They were allowed back because Donald Trump told them they wasn't coming in there to get their portraits up while he was the president. And he sure the fuck stopped it. I didn't even think it could be stopped. I thought that was just like a ceremony that just happened. But Donald Trump literally stopped something that happens every single presidency after someone leaves. The portraits go up the next presidency. He stopped it. He stopped it. So old Joe had him come back yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I ain't got nothing really for Shelley and Barry. But shout out to Shelley for wearing braids. She wore braids. They gonna drag her about that. I know white America gonna drag her about wearing some braids back to the White House. But they was probably on vacation and shit. And she probably keeps her hair up a lot now. She ain't gotta have it fried like she used to have to when she was in the White House. Let her wear them braids. I'd rather see her braided up, locked up, than see her shit fried. She should have came in there with an afro. Just blew out, just totally blew out. But she ain't gonna go back that route. But she at least did come in with the braids. She got her little subtle ways of saying fuck you sometimes. I catch it. And wearing braids and shit, that was that was a good way to do it. Absolutely. We didn't need to see them. We had enough problems when he was in that motherfucker. When Orange Julius was in there, the last thing we need to do is see Orange Julius and the American Kenyan in there together. Who knows what kind of shenanigans they could have got into. He might have asked for Barack's ID and shit. He always said he didn't think Barack was an American. He wasn't born in America. I don't know what that shit was about. Like, of course he's born in America. And he ingratiated himself all the way to the presidency. I just don't think Donald liked a black president. I just think, and you think that was mostly weave? I mean, I don't know. I don't really keep up with her hair length and stuff. I mean, the stuff that was close to her head, that was probably braids. That was probably braids, right? So, but yeah, just to see that he was able to prevent them from doing something that's just a tradition. Just a tradition. Nah, he ain't coming to get no pictures up here while I'm here. And did it. Now he's got bigger problems. So they say. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe they're going to charge him. I don't believe they're going to try him. I don't believe they're going to convict him. And I think he's running for president in 24. That's just what I believe. Call me crazy, but I believe he's going to skate on all this shit. And I believe he's going to run against Joe. Well, he's going to walk briskly in his high heels, and Joe is going to stumble. Hey, if Joe's only got like 2-3 more falls in him. He done fell about 7 times since he's been president. He's only got a couple more falls in him. We're gonna hear about Joe one day, possibly too. Joe can't keep falling. He's too goddamn frail. Joe is frail now. When him and Jill be walking, they're not walking arm in arm. Jill is holding his ass up. Shit. Joe weak. He weak as hell. And they got to get him. They got to get him in these meetings and shit early in the day, because by the end of the day, Joe is spent. You notice they do all of his shit early now. They don't do nothing late with Joe no more. All his shit is spent by the end of the day. Or if he does do something in the evening, we don't see Joe on camera early. He don't do that little early conference. He just come on at night. They got to lay him up, put heat on his body and shit. Get him an IV with some ginseng and ginkgo biloba and shit. Then go over the lines with him. This is what you got to say. This is what you got to say. This is what you got to say. They just keep talking to him like Umar. So, but yeah, you know, we're here and we'll continue to move, but the Jackson family needs us. And the people that we have on, that was a great meeting that we had offline, and BTP put that on, you know, and we've got people that are down in Jackson that are moving already, that are helping people. Because y'all did hear about the governor of Mississippi not talking to the mayor of Jackson, right? He totally bypassed the mayor of the city. Why? Because he's black. What governor isn't going to talk to the leader of the city that's got the problems? A white racist one? When it's a black man? Yeah. Went all around him. He talked to FEMA, but wouldn't talk to Lumumba. How you gonna talk to FEMA but not talk to Lumumba? Hell, Lumumba talked to FEMA. I also didn't like that Joe Biden decided not to go down there. You go everywhere else, motherfucker. Why didn't you go to Jackson? You was begging for their votes. You was begging for them black people's votes. But you didn't go to Jackson? See, that just lets you know. And he said, there's no reason for me to go. Everything's already been put in place. He figures because he moved some pieces on the chessboard, he ain't got to do nothing. Joe just don't like y'all. Y'all do know that, right? But vote blue no matter who. Jigaboo. Y'all be good out here. Because one of the things that will happen if you're not good is you're going to get fucked up. I appreciate everybody that's checked out these streams throughout the time. We're going to get better. We're absolutely going to get better. I'll do some things on video. You know, I'll do some things on video. But right now, what I'm doing right now is getting this audio together. The audio means much more to me because if you can't hear what I'm saying, it doesn't even matter, because nobody's paying that much attention to me by looking at me. Now, I might have a slide heavy stream, so you'll need some video quality there. But for the most part, you just need to hear me clearly. And if you can hear me clearly, we got it going on. We got it going on. And that's what I want. I want y'all to be able to hear me clearly. Okay? What else we got going on here, man? What else we got?
The group. I'm the best thing ever happened to this damn group.
I'm just being silly. I don't know why I played that. I don't know why I played that.
I'm gonna see me. Nigga stupid. I'm coming to see you.
All right. I'm gonna go on and get up out of here. And we'll do what we gotta do on the other side. But American Freedmen, there is no way we get anywhere as individuals. We either work as a collective or we don't work at all. And it's only going to hit home to the people who truly understand. Most people don't. It's unfortunate. Most people don't. But I've challenged people to say, tell me one time in the history on this soil that we have benefited as a collective when we moved individually. I've never gotten a response, because I can give you several times that we've moved as a collective and we've advanced. Still waiting for somebody to show me where we moved as a collective by individual efforts. It's collective efforts that move us. Somebody put up a video yesterday of these Amish people moving this barn. It was 300 Amish people. Hear me? 300 Amish people moved this barn, okay? Craziest shit I'd ever seen. Lifted this shit up, and then all of a sudden, you just started seeing it go across the grass. They didn't use no cranes. They didn't use no trailers, nothing. 300 men. 1, 2, 3. And they lifted that shit. You tell me we can't do the same thing when we move politically, when we move as a community, when something happens to us on a negative. I know some of y'all like to get out there and just march and dance. I get it. Y'all marchers and y'all dancers. You like to get out there with your megaphones and shit, yelling at county courthouses and shit, and jails and shit. Just yelling into the air, not doing a goddamn thing. I also heard about some of y'all going back into the pulpit. What's that about? Survivors Ministries. Yeah. And Sneaky Link Nate. I guess y'all back in the pulpits, huh? We're going to be talking about y'all motherfuckers soon. Motherfuckers that don't do dick. Y'all the lesbians of the movement. 2 motherfuckers that don't do dick. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you can't be a civil rights activist, be a preacher. We got to eat the bag some way, you motherfuckers.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well then, show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well then, stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a woman, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, we will match you and we will override you.
One love.